Okay, hello friends, welcome back. Myself Shreyas. Hope the previous session is very much clear to all of you, and I hope this is not that much bored. But I'm going to discuss something really very much interesting right now, which may be a theoretical but not a boring part. I'm going to promise you. So we are going to discuss the session number 4 is regarding to tricks and tips. So there are very important top 5 mistakes must be avoided while doing with a wiring of a control panel, and that we are going to discuss right now. So first important thing is don't forget to use and check the jumper wires with right location. Many times in control panel jumper wires are connect together the whole system. This can be done very easily with the help of jumper bars, and now the problem is that all these jumper bars are hidden inside the terminal box, so can be easily unnoticed, and hence a loose connectivity or any cause of other insulation failures may result in open circuit or short circuit faults, and this signal or we can say a power signal may cause a failure in the overall system, or maybe a cable connectivity lose some important signals to the PLC, and because of which a processing cannot be done in the proper way. So don't forget to use and check the jumper wires with the right location. Second rule, that is nothing regarding to check the termination. So it must be completely tight, means the kind of cable terminal connections that you are going to do should be tight with proper pressure, we can say, because the cables that we are going to connect should be completely secured and properly well settled, connected to avoid any wrong connectivity into the system. Now third thing is don't forget to use the fuses. All the fuse with proper rating must be placed in every separate section of the panel and should be tightly connected to the system. Because check whether the fuse is melted down by a wire. Maybe it's a combination of lead or zinc. So connect the system by disconnecting through a MCB. Reconnect the fusible wires if the panel is not getting on and off. And almost check every time whether your fuse holder is properly tight or not. Its nut bolt should be properly tight. Otherwise, there may be a possibility of a loose connection, and the fuse may also cause the current to pass through a fabrication control panel systems, and the mechanical parts or the plastic part of that holder may get burned. So the things should be taken into point of consideration. And fourth is nothing but checking the polarity of cable connectivity. Especially this problem arises in a DC power system. If a positive or a negative wires interchange, then the flow of power may get reversed, and it may cause a major severe damage, or we can say a fire into the system. Fifth but not the least is nothing but checking the drawings. All the wires connectivity must be followed by drawing work of wiring panel system, and this work is done by the design engineer itself, as we have already discussed how to do the drafting in the mechanically in the CATIA section, and we are also going to furtherly discuss in detail about that. But even many time industrial plant designers wire work may be wrong. Sometimes it may be done through the designer itself. Wrong work may result to cause that panel to maybe on or to not maybe get off, or it not function in that well nature. So even operator should also use his own testing meters for the wire connectivity and to check its continuity, or he should check all the closed loop systems, terminal box points connections, and according to that it should operate the things in the well settled manner. Now we are going to discuss about the input output designation of our system. That is nothing but input output sections, accordingly which a control panel is going to gather the information through a cables and the actuators or different types of sensors, and pass it to a PLC through which we can monitor and control the other important systems by executing and evaluating the data. So the flow is very simple. that it must be have a sensors and actuators which are connected to a different plants of the location, gather the physical information, converting them into an electric signals that may be an analog signals, and then it is given to a PLC through an signal conditioning systems like analog to digital conversions, and then we are going to process and execute that data, and then further it is given to two outputs which may be a digital outputs in terms of monitoring the data over the LCD or SCADA screen, that is known as supervisor computer data acquisition system. Mostly it is located in every industry for a monitoring system, or we can say an second output of the PLC may be given to an actuators or a control elements like relay, actuators, valves, all these things. So we are going to discuss about the different types of input output requirements of the panel. First thing is an analog signal. These are in the range of voltage, or maybe in terms of current sometimes, depending upon the type of transducer we have used. I can elaborate it with a very simple example, that it how it operate in the range format. This signal stands for a range signals, means they are in value in terms of range, maybe a level of water, maybe a level of voltages. For example, let's take a dimmer switch. It having an ability to turn on and off the devices, but also have an ability to change the intensity of a light bulb. It have an ability to change the speed of the motor. So all these things can be done because of its range, that and that's its value that can be changeable as per a control signal given from the PLC or maybe a manual signals. So mostly it helps in the industry for measuring the flow, measuring the pressure, measuring the level, motion, temperature, humidity, or a gas leakage detections. Okay, now the second type of signal is nothing but your digital type of input output signals. Digital signals are designated to control and manage the system control operation in terms of only on and off. Means it at the binary codes. It's maybe in terms of zeros and one, and accordingly which a system is getting an information whether it is on and off. Industrial monitoring operation, that is the state of motor to get on and off, state of furnace to get on and off, a heater should be on and off. It is decided through this kind of signals, that are the digital signals in terms of ones and zero. So we can say at the conclusion that digital output signal helps to run or stop the motor or an output devices, and analog input output signal helps to change the required speed of the motor, or we can say required values of that output control systems. And hence in this format we have discussed how this PLC SCADA system is going to operate for us. Hope so. We have discussed all the tricks and tips that are the safety precautions that should be taken into point of consideration for the PLC. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask me at the comment box. Thank you.